Well, welcome back, everybody. We are ready to go. If you want to continue watching the John McAllister Matt Cook match, that's over on YouTube right now. But we're going to focus on Declan Brennan versus Kris Hampson. And it is Declan who gets us underway. Brilliant year last year for Declan Brennan. Just consistency and brilliant performances throughout the year to get himself right up there in the rankings behind Tom Cousins. If it wasn't for such an incredible year for Tom, certainly would have drawn a lot of attention as player of the year. And it will be Declan that has the first opportunity here. He's taking on Kris Hampson. Fairly local event, this one for Kris. It will be Declan that will start as the favourite for the match and one of the favourites for the tournament. Chance this for Declan to get out, but it's just a bit in between everything here. The next couple of shots and quite key to being able to get out in this situation.
Extension call.
So it's going to be a good start for Declan the Destroyer. Oh, or is it? Little stamp of the cue there from Decky. That is a very uncharacteristic 8-ball to miss. Was not expecting that. And neither was he. Kris Hampson gets away with one in the first frame and should. Oh, Christopher. Well, well, well. All the fun of the fair in frame one. And it's about to get even more entertaining because Nick Finn's just sidled along next to me. He only ever turns up for the entertainment, does Mr. Nick Finn? And what a mad ending to that first frame. You just caught the end of it. I don't know if you even saw Decky's miss on the 8-ball, which was a shocker by his standards, but that's a crazy way to end the first one.
Yes, indeed. And
so this is Deck's miss on the 8-ball. Took out a lovely finish until this point. He'd be happy with this. But that one was a big wide by his standards. I mean, you can see what Kris was trying to do. The margin for error actually on that shot, playing that red razor thin into the left centre to still make contact on the one above it. I mean, but having said all that, it's a shot that he'll be screwing he's gone in off on. Kris in off the break to compound that mistake. How often does that happen?
yes, that's the pool gods, as they say. those mistakes can often cost you 2 frames. So Declan Brennan would have gone into this match as favourite. But Kris Hampson, he's a steady stick. He's not shown it so far, obviously, in the glimpse we've had of him, but he can certainly cause an upset.
I mean, it's amazing, isn't it, that we could easily be saying the same thing about Declan Brennan after that first frame, because that's the sort of miss that often costs you 2 frames as well.
Yeah.
But what a touch for him that his opponent then makes an even bigger error out of nowhere, really.
So just looking at how he unlocks this frame here, the key to it being that little cluster of balls just to the side of the white line. Yeah, so the top one passes, and I think he just needs to top through and give the... It's hard to see how he can come out into ideal position here, unless he takes the one to middle and comes down and gives him a nudge. I think he plays the top one. Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah, couldn't have played that any better.
Yeah, wasn't sure he could get that full of contact. But,
yeah, because his danger of any thinner contact, he was in a bit of trouble because the cue ball was moving towards the bottom left corner as we look at it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could take either here realistically, but he's going to go top left first.
Yeah, just slightly the wrong angle on the other one, pushing towards the yellow. Come too far there as well. That's no good. The angle here is taking you directly into the 8-ball.
It may even put him in, depending on what angle he's got. I think he'd be close to potting the 8-ball off this.
Quite possibly, yeah.
So he's going to have to manipulate it a little bit.
Is he thin enough? No, he's surely... I think he was looking at the full ball contact, pushing the 8 into the cushion and just trying to judge the pace. That's exactly what he did. He's taken his eye off the pot, though, as so often happens. He was trying to make sure he got that full ball cannon to make sure that he got something, had some kind of chance on the 8. Even then, does that 8 pass the red? Possibly, doesn't matter.
Kris Hampson will be hoping we never find out. Is he going to put all his eggs in one basket straight away? I doubt it, especially after what happened in frame 1.
Yeah.
But that yellow is it does need solving, because that red just north of it is obviously his now biggest problem.
Yeah, I think he was just looking at whether there was some kind of loss of turn shot down there, and decided there wasn't, because you couldn't hide the cue ball. But he may just elect to use the red that's in the middle of the table, that's closest to this end of the table, to plant that yellow in.
I like that.
Yeah, that's nice as well.
Shot. The only problem was position.
Yeah.
Wasn't guaranteed to be on anything nice after that. But I don't mind it. Get it done early. You've still got reds to play with. 8-ball in the middle of the table. Oh, if he's on this one to right centre, cancel my last, because he's fine. He's gone so far across. He was on the red, but then he misses it. Well, all bets are off in this match so far, Nick, because every time you think someone's won a frame, they've gone on to lose it.
That's a crazy miss. I mean, I know it wasn't a gimme pot, but I mean, the pace he hit it at as well just made it that much more difficult. There was a lot of pressure on that shot. He knew he was giving up the frame if he missed it, but it surprises me even more that, you know, he's hit it at that kind of pace. Just caught the near knuckle, and it's never going to go.
Yeah, that's something to think about for Kris Hampson. 2 frames now. He's had Declan Brennan, one of the best players in the world, hand him the frame. That does not happen all that often, especially the first 2 of a first round match. And to not take 1 was tough. To fail to take the second as well, especially after playing a really good shot, doing the hard work really in the visit.
Yeah, and he's edgy. You could see when the camera was on him, then you could see, you know, taking a drink and a little puff of the cheeks, but you could just tell he's not settled at all.
Well, the way the first 2 frames have gone, I mean, that'll do it to you.
Yeah, yeah.
That will do it. Interested to see what the pool guards have in store for us here. Could have had all sorts so far. Declan front ball breaking, which I like to see. Can be a little loose with his cue ball sometimes, but when it's on, it's brilliant. And well, at first glance, these reds look pretty yummy.
I know it's been said before, Jamer, but what an arena this is. It's great.
Looks good, doesn't it?
The whole pro room, actually.
Yeah, it's the whole deck. Well, you talk about Kris. No way.
No, that's
I thought for a second.
that's catching.
I think Kris did as well. But yeah, I mean, you know, you talk about Kris not settling. Deck hasn't either. Despite the fact he's 2-0 up, he really hasn't settled out there. And yeah, there's another hope for Kris here. Oh, could have gone kinder.
Well, if he's not on the one through the gap, and he's not, he's on nothing. He can't get past the 8 to the one to middle, and he's on absolutely nothing. This is another spurned chance. May have a gap between the yellows to the one furthest up the table, but well, you wouldn't be licking your lips over that shot. Can he get past the 8? Didn't look like it from the overhead. Well, he must be able to.
Yeah, it looked tight, didn't it? No, he sails in.
My eyes are bad.
Yeah, I always blame the angles. They are deceptive. They are deceptive, but Kris will be pleased with that. Now he just has to hold himself together. These are bread and butter for any player of Kris's level.
Yeah, it's a fairly natural angle, actually. Just play this to middle, then you've just got 2 cushions to come around for the ball that's to the right of the yellow now. In fact, you could play to an area and have a choice of both. Probably, if you land straight on that, then you're out. You could take the one to middle now.
Yeah, I like getting rid of the one bottom left, though. I don't love that as a last ball.
No me. I mean, the 8 does pass. I'm pretty sure the 8 passes the yellow to right centre, so he could have chosen this as last ball, but I think this is the right way to go. Could use 1 cushion or 2. Just 2. Don't like that though. Would have rather seen the cue ball 4 or 5 inches away. A little bit harder to control now. This is a shot that you'd rather just be screwing back and taking the last red up into top left, but he can follow. It will go. That red will go to top right, which is rather. In fact, he's got the gap to take it to middle. It's a big angle, bigger than he wanted, but I think he may just be okay.
Yeah, he's overplayed a touch, and now it's about judging your line, because if he decides he can't hold on the line for the 8 ball, you've got to overplay it.
Well, if he can't hold, he's got to use the bottom cushion side, and that makes it a much tougher shot. He couldn't hold.
Oh wow!
And he's actually tried to come the short side, cushion into the cushion, and then what was he going for? I mean, the 8 doesn't look like it passes to middle, but.
No, I was always unsure of that 8 to middle, to be honest with you. I think it may have squeezed top right, but that looks half a pocket. But yeah, just not settled yet, and even sort of only semi-difficult shots and semi-difficult clearances can get very tricky very quickly when you're struggling to find your sort of rhythm out there.
The trouble is, I mean, even if Deck's on nothing here, Deck's just calling all the shots in this frame from here in. I think he's got a thin cut back, but he's got all the time in the world. He doesn't need to go for it. Yeah. And didn't.
Kris can take this for a bit of a ride, though, I think. I think he has the 1 cushion off the left.
I mean, my preference, I think, would have been to play the yellow that's on the cushion, develop the yellow, and leave the cue ball at the top of the table, because he's left a 1 cushion escape here for Kris, which means that he can really get that 8 ball moving.
Off the top rail, looking to make it bottom left corner.
That was a big ask. That was a big ask. Surely 1 cushion and just fire it and get it moving.
Yeah,
old-fashioned
hit and hope.
Yeah, I mean, I know these players are better than a hit and hope, but that was That was high tariff what he was trying to play there.
Yeah, sometimes, obviously, they're better than the old hit and hope, but sometimes that's almost a percentage play, you feel. What I expect Declan to do from here is to use these shots just to get a bit of a feel for the table. Just hasn't looked like he's got the pace of it quite yet, and he's got all the margin in the world here to just figure it out. Sort of send his brain some blueprints and some calculations.
Well, he's sped up a fraction here as well. This isn't the natural Declan Brennan cadence. He's definitely sped up here, just trying to get that arm going. And you'll quite often see players do this just to try to get themselves into the zone. I mean, that was Sheppy pace, not Declan Brennan pace.
Yeah, very true.
He's no slouch, but that was definitely quick for him.
Yeah, almost trying to kickstart his road through. There's the scene in the pro room right now. Let's take a look at John McAllister, who's over on table number 2. You can watch this live on YouTube currently. John is about to go on the hill against Matt Cook. Would not be surprised to see John in the mix for trophies come the end of this weekend. And in his very usual manner, very laid back, very chilled.
Yeah, I commentated on the first half of that game, and you know, John was good value for the lead there. Matt had a few chances, but John's been fairly flawless, and that massive break of his was working as well, which is ominous for any player.
Yeah, there's a lot of options for winners, that's for sure. We're looking at Sean Storey here, who's at the table. As Kris Hampson breaks off and goes in off again. Oh, you fear for Kris here, gotta say.
Yeah, Sean was playing Oli Bell, currently leading 4 frames to 3. That game is being played over on table 2. We've got access to 5 tables.
We do. We'll have a look maybe in the gap in the next frame. Jaden Billingham is taking on Carl Morris over on the other side of the room.
Yeah,
he's 1-0 up.
That's a
Era's
battle
clash,
of the
isn't it?
generations.
Yeah.
There's we were working out on the other table what the age differences between them, and I'm not exactly sure of Jaden's age. I think he's 18.
Yeah, 17 or 18.
17 or 18, yeah, and I think Carl's 48, because we worked out that he was 21 when he won his world in 1998. Did the maths, so he's 48, 49, around about that age. Saw him parking his camper van outside earlier with his bikes on the back.
Yeah, he never minds the no hotels, will Carl Morris, he'll be pleased.
Getting himself another cheap weekend.
Once again, Declan Brennan first opportunity. But if you've just joined us and you see Declan Brennan 3-0 up with first opportunity in this frame, you'd be excused for thinking, knowing Declan, that it's been something of a cakewalk. It's been far from it. This has been a edgy match. It could very, very easily be Kris Hampson 3, Declan Brennan 0. Kris Hampson will feel it should be. And he wouldn't be alone in thinking that. He's played a good shot there. He's judged that really well.
The young new pro on table 12, Luke McAvoy's on the hill against Sean Sharkey, opening his account in the pro ranks. Good to see these new pros doing well. There's a few of them around.
Yeah, absolutely. Just no gimmies on this tour at all. So many good players. And I think everyone will have the hunger coming in this weekend and seeing the setup. You want to be the first to take down a trophy, as it is, as Declan Brennan completes the first clearance, full table clearance of the match. Off the break, it comes off a Kris Hampson in-off. And right, maybe on the wall here. Kris early on, 4-0 in front is Declan. Let's take a look then, if we can, at the Carl Morris, Jaden Billingham game. And oh, we're out by one. That's Rob. That's Rob Chambers, who's at the table there. So he's at the table against Chris Day. That's the first frame of that one. As Declan breaks off. Goodness me, he's found his break. Do you know what? That's part of what's been such a strange facet to this game. Declan's actually the splits have been kind. It's not like it's been a really tough layout every time. It's been quite nice, generally speaking. Oh, Deck.
Dear me.
You can't believe it. You cannot believe it.
And that wasn't a pop out, that was jaw. I'm sure it was. Catches the far jaw. And then the near jaw.
Yeah, extraordinary. Alright then, Chris. Still a race to 8, so 4-0 doesn't feel as terminal as maybe it did last season. But up the races this year. Was 7, now 8. I think it'll be a popular move among the pros. Sean Shockey's pulled one back against Luke McAvoy, I've noticed. That's now 7-6. Luke's still on the hill.
Yeah, talking about lifting a trophy, it won't be Carl O'Donoghue, the man I had breakfast with this morning. He's been beaten by his fellow Irishman, Christy Colefield, in a hill game. Christy went through 8-7. Heartbreak for
Do you know
Carl.
what? He's had a couple of stinking draws as Carl O'Donoghue too. He's got Declan Brennan in event 2. And that Christy Caulfield game, you just felt like the pair of them, if they went at each other and they got into a rhythm, it was going to be a bit of a humdinger. And seeing that go hill, I bet that was an unbelievable match.
Yeah. And another one that went hill was Neil Rayburn against Joe Prince, and Neil Rayburn came through that one. Joe Prince, obviously.
It's a really good sign for Neil, that, you know.
Yeah.
We had him on the Champions League. He came through his group a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying his game felt in a good place. And once he starts getting the edge in the matches he feels he should win, he might start to become into tournament form again as Kris Hampson.
I mean,
is he on this?
No, surely not.
I think he might be. I think he's okay here.
But he's played for that cue ball to land in the middle of the table, so he's overhit it by 3.5 feet.
Yeah, he's on this.
It's very tricky though.
What a positional shot. That's how you pot in the middles, Deck. Kris Hampson. From one pocket to the other. It's not exactly how he designed it.
Or maybe he played it.
Look, a frame is a frame at this stage. He's cutting this one back, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, it's by far the easier shot. Trying to take it down into that narrow pocket long when you're not in line with it is a tricky shot.
Yeah, I just wondered if he, with the hampered queuing, whether that impacted his judgment. This is Jaden Billingham. He's at the table against Carl Morris. He's 2-0 in front is the Bullets. And no surprise to see a couple in the background watching on. He's a very, very popular figure is Jaden. Had a very, very big cash game recently, didn't he? Against old Tommy Gun, Tom Jones, which was, I mean, a huge game. Great to see those two getting it on, and sort of played very respectfully as well. I think the pair of them, you know, they could easily be quite sort of brash young blokes and squaring off, but it was played in a great spirit, which is nice.
So what happens when Jaden Billingham plays early bell? Which one's bullet 1, which one's bullet 2?
That's a great question. Whoever wins.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see Jaden taking on Carl in a tactical exchange. That shows the confidence of the man. 30 years his junior. As Kris Hampson breaks off, he gets the cue ball on the table this time, and he makes the ball. It's been a very, almost loath to call it strange, but it has felt like a strange match.
He's got options. Not great options. He's got the red on the bottom cushion. He's also got a cut on the yellow to middle. I think he'll want to take reds here. All the reds have a pocket. This first shot is about the most awkward positional shot that he's going to have to play. That has landed about perfect. It's definitely not the way he played it. He was trying to land on this red at the cushion next, but there was no way. He was trying to use that middle pocket.
Yeah, that's a lovely one. Not a bad run if you can get it. He's not quite got his cue ball yet, Kris.
No.
But that will be every shot that he gets it right and he ticks another frame off, it will just help boost that confidence, and it's such a key thing in this setup because, you know, Kris has spoken before about when he first came to the Pro Series and playing in those arenas was, you know, an experience in and of itself. This is a whole nother step up, isn't it? So, you know, maybe it will have a bit of an impact on a couple of players that maybe we don't expect. Maybe it's had one on deck that maybe we didn't expect.
Yeah. This is a route change here. I think he was going to play top left, but he's just got the raw angle on that one, so he's going to change route. But this isn't actually too bad because he had a natural angle to get on the one. It was difficult, which is the one he's on now to bottom right. And then
I do just wonder if he maybe missed a trick not getting rid of the red close to the right centre earlier on in the visit.
Oh, that's what he wanted to do, but he overplayed. So he would have gone top left and then played that as his second shot and then come down table. But going this way, I think he's on it now. I think he's just through the gap. Has he come too far? He's okay.
Yeah, he's okay for right centre. It's just about managing that cue ball again. Just all of a sudden got half a shot to play, and that has been where it's sometimes gone wrong for Kris. He can swing it around two cushions top left if he wants, and maybe that's the strategy.
Yeah, but he needs to get perfect on this one to middle to get back up table. I think this is by far the tougher option, and he's not hit that anywhere near hard enough.
Yeah, even...
Just didn't get through the shot.
Or even if he lands perfect on that, he's still coming in and out the bottom end of the table to land on the 8 ball, and that is a tough old shot.
I'm not, unless he wasn't on that red through the gap, I'm not sure why he didn't play it, because it wasn't a bad shot. Top cushion, just a trace of left-hand side, track the cue ball down between the two yellows that are there, and you're going to have some shot to get onto the 8 ball.
Couldn't avoid the yellow. Disaster. Oh, that yellow. Oh, wow. Yeah, little look from Kris tells you all you need to know about that. Just been a funny old match. Don't trust either player at the table.
This will be the old hit and hope. Well, he's looking to see if he can play it controlled, just to get a flick, just a glance off the yellow and hold it for the bottom right. It was just get it moving. And what a leave for Declan Brennan.
Yeah, he'll take this.
Yeah, you fully expect him to. The only slight question is the yellow that's closest to the 8 ball. There's a couple of things that you can do with that. Go down and land on it now. It passes. Yeah. I think it passes below the 8 ball into the right centre, but if it doesn't, he can just come down and give a nudge. Yeah, it definitely passes. Luke McAvoy has completed the win over Sean Sharkey, 8 frames to 6, so he's opened his account in the pro ranks.
Big win that for Luke.
Jez Graham 6-2 up against the buzzer. That's a big north-south divide. Jez from about as far down as you can go against Brian, who's about as far up as you can go. Plymouth versus Newcastle. Stevie Dempsey takes his bye. He would have been playing Jordan Shepherd. What a game that would have been. Jordan Shepherd is having a bit of success over in China. Andrew, just over that Carl Morris Jaden Billingham game. Carl doing what Carl does. They don't call him
He's having
Houdini.
a bit of a smile as well because the trussing in the arenas is actually... and he's having a moan. This is very on brand for Carl Morris. But the table lights are quite low,
Yeah.
sort of generally speaking,
Yeah.
in that venue. In fact, you can see the table light right at the top of the picture. Actually, that little black bar.
Well, most venues we've ever gone in, they hang the lights from the ceiling, but here the ceiling's so high they couldn't do it. So
He's not having to thread that through a truss.
yeah, I reckon he is. Yeah.
This is extraordinary. he's seeing the funny side.
He is, yeah. Just move the table, he said. What can I do?
I mean, that is absolutely vintage Morris right there.
We'll go back while the we'll try and keep an eye. Deck lost the 8 ball and the cue ball. Very unusual. Obviously the 8 ball gets respotted, and Kris comes to the table with ball in hand, has to play it from behind the line.
Yeah, it would be a golden duck on a Monday night, but
It would, yeah.
no such nonsense in the series. This is the prestige event.
Nice to see the races extended to 8 as well. I'm sure the pros would appreciate that.
Yeah.
They like a slightly longer race. A longer race obviously evens out the luck as well. The longer you can go, then the less chance there is of. He's gone to get a ref because there's a shot. You see Scott oversee. Scott's just going to say, "What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Like, do you want me to move it for you?" I mean, you just have to play with the environment. I'm sure Carl's played in a pub where we've all played in a pub where there's been a fireplace and you've got a queue. Got a queue under the mantelpiece. I mean, everyone's been there. Rob Chilton was telling me a story once where he played a final and he lost the final because he was hampered by the fireplace. So even the best players have been there.
It's a funny one because Carl will be making the point, which I am very wary of being on Carl Morris's side here. I know that's a tricky position to be in every now and again. But Carl will be making the point that if he was on any other table apart from those 4, he'd be able to play that shot.
Yeah.
Which is, and as I say, I hate to take his side, but that is a fairly valid point.
Yep.
It still doesn't change the fact that he can't do anything about it. So he should probably just try and suck it up and play the shot as he can.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's like I said before. I mean, this is a brand new venue, and they're trying to do so much with nearly 90 tables. I mean, there's always going to be a few issues, and it wouldn't be. It's impossible to get through this weekend without a few teething issues, and I'm sure everyone will learn from them. But arguably the players should all be playing on a level playing field, but it happens they're not. That table. I mean, how often are you going to have you queue up in the air like that? It's so rare you ever see it.
Kris is running a little bit fast and loose here.
He's left himself a tough red. No guarantees of getting on the 8 ball really. He should be okay on the 8 actually. He can just drop this in. Don't think we'll see him play it with too much pace. Just drop it in dead weight. Does it drop? Doesn't.
Pleased to see it not really.
Yeah.
Oh, that felt like a true miss, and he did play it sort of at the right pace that it might just. You're worried it might. You don't really want to see those drop in for all concerned, and it didn't. And that's nothing against Kris personally, just sort of.
Yeah, keep him honest.
Yeah, I think so.
If you miss, you miss. Should be able to hit near the bulk line and miss a ball. I know that one was a bit closer than that, but we have seen it.
Just going to dust off these reds. Promise we'll check in on Houdini in a second, because I'm dying to know what the next chapter is. Jack's about to go 6-1 in front here, and in a funny turn, we'll go 6-1 in front, and he will probably feel he's played his worst Pro Series match in a little long while.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so let's check in on Morris Gate. I've just been told nothing much is happening apart from a couple of people talking out of view of our camera. So we'll look at the beauty shot, and look what a beautiful image it is. We can see there, that's John Chambers at the bottom of your picture. He's taking on Josh Kane. That's available for you on YouTube right now. Who's sat on the other side of the room here? That's Tony Holgate and
Mark, is it Mark Shepherd over there?
No, we've got someone else. It's David McQuillan, I think.
Oh.
Two old Irishmen there, sharing a few thoughts.
And just saying John Chambers, we just saw his brother a while ago as well, Rob Chambers, both new to the pro ranks. Both, it'd be interesting when they get drawn against each other. I'm sure they have many times in the past.
Yeah. Great little story there on the drive up together. Stopped for petrol. Got chatting to the attendant, and he said, "You know, you make such a great father and son duo." Rob was telling me that story earlier, and he had a few people giggling with that one. But yeah, two great additions, two great characters, really.
Yeah, Rob, heavily involved in pool for many years. He does a lot for the game.
So then Kris, right up against it. Something really needs to happen now, because the issue is it's 6-1, but because of the nature of the 6-1, it's been far from a drubbing in terms of it's just been Declan, playing like robot mode. The frames have actually lasted quite a long time because both players have had a chance in most of the frames. I think we've seen one off the break.
Yeah.
Which is, at this level, certainly with the splits that have been left, because you can see one off the break in 7 if the splits are difficult and you've got to do a bit of work and all the rest of it, but it hasn't been that sort of match really, at least, sort of how it's presented. It's been jittery, it's been edgy.
Key to the frame, this ball. If he gets it, he should be winning the frame. Just seemed to just play it slightly tentatively. Should still be okay, but now it's just slightly harder to get on the one that's next to the 8 ball. Probably needs to play a cannon and didn't want to. If you had more of an angle, I'm pretty sure that you can get, well, you can definitely get to the red on the left-hand side. It goes to both top left and top right pockets. The one at the top of the table I'm talking about, that one. But how do you get? Oh, he's on this one. Well,
It's a great shot.
yeah. The reason because they're really tough.
Yeah.
When you're that close to a ball, to control it that well.
I thought we'd actually have to raise the butler key more to
Yeah.
get that sort of action, but he's actually played a lovely shot.
It's
Here we
easy
go.
It's easy to jab it and make
Speaking
a
of
mistake.
jabs,
I think he's gone and got a shorter cue, hasn't he?
it looks like it. And he's taken the handle off.
Oh yeah,
He's taken the
taking
two.
the butt end off.
Yeah. The handle. My apologies.
Oh, what a shot as well,
Oh,
though.
he's gone and
I mean,
made it.
he's on-
No, he's not on it. He is honestly.
He is Mr. Entertainment, isn't
He is.
Had the
just
whole crowd
box
laughing.
Office. He is box office.
I think he blamed the referee and said that's your fault. If I could have got my butt end on,
he's-
I'd have been fine.
He's unbelievable, isn't he? Kris Hampson's gone 6-2 in the meantime. We'll keep up with Carl Morris. In the meantime, there is an element, and it's gone on for so long that it's just a part of the game that you accept, in a sense, from Carl. But Jaden's been sat in his chair the whole time, just thinking, what on earth is going on? And Carl will know that.
Yeah.
That is very much part of the Carl Morris experience.
Oh yeah. He's gone for another one.
he's
Surely
made it.
not.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's 2 of the best back-to-back doubles you will ever see.
Carl.
I mean, they call him Houdini for a reason. That is incredible.
That is a nonsense finish.
How do we even get that on the highlight reel? That's ridiculous. You can hear the audience in the background give him a round of applause.
Wow.
Well, we missed the break here, but make no apologies for that whatsoever, because that was fantastic to watch.
Goodness me.
Carl Morris at his best.
I'm pressing the hotline to our social media editors right now.
Extension call.
Deck with a really nice chance on yellows. Again, just that yellow one here, which he's landed absolutely perfectly on to play the combination shot. If he gets the combo, you fully expect him to go on the hill from here. He couldn't have placed that better by hand. The red is just slightly to the right of the pocket, so it's not an absolute gimme. In fact, it was so far to the right that he couldn't play the combo. He's tried to squeeze it cushion first off the back of the red, and he hangs it over the pocket. So Kris Hampson back at the table.
Extension call.
You see another attempted double here. Again, he was trying to put some covering fire in rather than actually making the pot. But as we already know, ball over the pocket is not that helpful. I guess it just gives Declan something to think about. Bit of a headache, but doesn't do enough to kill the frame. Bit loose. I've got a feeling the yellow probably passes the red just to the bottom half of the pocket. If he gets knuckle first, it will pass. Same as before, it didn't squeeze in. Now the reds are there. I think the red that's closest to the left-hand cushion will squeeze past the yellow. He can play it off the yellow and open the pocket for the other one to go. And this now a really good opportunity for Kris. The 8-ball's still a problem, but it's there for a double. Don't know if he was just trying to hold for the top one of the two reds. Just gone a little bit too far. Can still play it. It's harder to play it from here. But he does need to. Yeah, he took it off the yellow and played it actually really well. Now he's in prime position. Only that 8-ball is a problem, and almost certainly going to be doubling that. Don't think there's any way to try and develop it from here. That's not a good shot. I don't know why he did that. He was trying to check it and hold for the yellow, for the red into the right centre, but why not let the cue ball go side cushion out to the middle of the table? Even if you don't land on the red to bottom left, you've still got the one at the top of the table as a recovery ball. Now this is way tougher than it needed to be. No, just not happening out there for Kris Hampson at the moment. That really was a great chance. It's great having these cameras on the other tables and being able to go out and see moments like that, because that would have been lost.
Yeah, it would have quickly become stuff of legend, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Declan has not played a particularly good shot there. Wanted to block the reds to top right, almost certain of it. And I wonder, does Kris have an out? He's a naturally very attacking player. He's from the Wigan area, I know Kris. And one of our tournament directors, Zach Leonard, often tells us Wigan boys go game. So he's always looking on the front foot. But I think there's a lot of merit here in just being a bit patient.
Yeah, that's mixed it up a little bit. I mean, Dec's got the yellow to middle, but it's got nothing to do with the other two yellows, so he's just looking at developing this one. Maybe he can get... I'm sure that's quite what he wanted. He was trying to push it into a position where it would pass the red. I'm sure it does. He's left a thin cut for Kris. Problem for Kris here is, yeah, he really couldn't take that on, because if he takes on the thin cut, and he's got no way of developing the ball at the bottom of the table.
I don't like that shot though, for the same reason. You know, I don't really think he's tried to make that double. I think he's just trying to block up the pocket. But
Yeah.
how on earth are you ever going to solve your problem down the table? You always need one ball out somewhere, not in everyone's way. And Dec is perfectly happy to play this game because he's 6-2 up with 11 minutes left. He'll say, oh, we can do this however long you want, Kris.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, playing that chess game, just, you know, not able to attack, but just developing his pieces for later in the game. Not hit a cushion, that's a foul.
Now then, Dec probably can't go game straight away, but he is going to take
It's lost a turn.
the red off the table and give Kris even fewer options. If he can hide the white here, which he hasn't managed to do, he'll be a bit annoyed about that. But it's not the end of the world.
It does say a lot about his mindset, though, because he could have tried to go game there. I know possibly percentages weren't in his favour, but he could have developed the table instantly and just decided against it, just happy to burn the seconds off the clock.
I think it was because if he took on that finish, especially with the way he's been playing, probably feels like a 5 out of 10 finish, whereas he's got all the control in this frame to eventually eke out a 10 out of 10 finish. And you know, we love to see attacking 8 ball and all the rest of it, but sometimes I think that is the right shot. And you look at this moment, I think it's absolutely the right shot.
I think I'd be playing this off the top cushion, not the side.
He tried that off
Came
3
around
and hit it
3.
in the middle, which would have been insane.
Was that not a one cushion escape off the top cushion? Did it need to be that difficult?
I don't know. This is quite a clever shot. Love this. Yeah, nice. Dec's been sat on that. It's like having pocket aces, isn't it? He's been sat on that for a long time, knowing that if he gets cue ball in hand and the top corner's freed, that's his first job. Once he's done that, that's the next time he's going to do it.
2 seconds, 1 second. Oh, well, it's a foul regardless.
Yeah.
Don't know if he hit it in time, but it doesn't matter, it's a foul.
Yeah, he's used his extension, as you can see, just bottom left corner of the scoreboard. The players have used their extension in this match. We're now on the 15-second shot clock, which has come around quick. I say quick, that probably isn't quite true, but it may feel it for the players, I'm not sure. We're 6-2, feels like we've been playing a little while, but I've not seen many frames for our buck in that sense.
was a nice shot, making sure he got right into the middle of the table to leave the angle to come up on this kind of narrow side on the left-hand side, and now he can just naturally use the cue ball just to trace the right-hand side, use that top cushion and come across for the one on the right. Yeah, that's perfect. Thought he just overhit it a fraction when it initially set off, but I think he just had a tiny bit of check side on it which killed it. It's landed perfectly for Declan Brennan to take the hill. He's been in complete control of the match so far. Wasn't a showcase performance from him early doors, but he seems to have settled now and he's definitely taken his chances. He looks happy, he looks confident. Why wouldn't he be? He's 7-2 up.
Yeah, it's been far from a ordinary 7-2 by Declan standards, though. He'll certainly have an eye on taking down these titles. He doesn't show up to events not to win titles, does Declan Brennan, but he will know he'll have to play a lot better than this today if he's just to get out of today with still being in the tournament.
Jaden Billingham didn't get unsettled by the Carl Morris antics. He took the next frame. He now leads by 3 frames to 1. Chris Day 3-1 up against Rob Chambers.
So Declan Brennan on the hill, Kris Hampson on the break. Goes the cut break. No friends. And, well, ordinarily you'd say Declan Brennan with a great chance to go and win it, but it's not been that sort of match.
It's actually it definitely needs to go yellows here, but a couple of, I mean, they're all there, but there are just a couple of awkward ones.
Yeah, that was a nice shot though.
Yeah, that's one of the awkward ones out of the way. That was a great positional shot, really well controlled, and I think he's just straight enough to be able to screw straight back out of the gap. If he comes into the reds, he wasn't quite there. He just had to top it round, but that's a fantastic shot.
Yeah, he's perfect. I think his issue is if he screwed straight back, he can only play the yellow to the right of the cue ball now, right centre. He's almost certainly going into the 8 ball.
Yeah.
Going his way around, he can work the pattern a little bit better. It's a lovely little route he's picked here. This is going to be his best visit to the table.
Yeah.
And it's going to come on a 15-second shot clock at 7-2 up.
Cue ball's been on a string here. This is the best control he's had throughout the match.
Yeah, where was this?
Yeah, fabulous.
Where was this the whole game? It's been a strange performance. This. Actually looking forward to hearing from Declan Brennan in a moment, because it has been a funny old match from the Destroyer.
Well, this is his worst positional shot of the lot, mind. He's going to have to come around 2 cushions, but how well's he navigated that? Beautiful from Declan Brennan. As we said, not an absolutely classical performance from him at the start of the match, but navigating he has, that's excellent from him. You've got to say commiserations to Kris Hampson. He never quite got it off the ground.